I say this is a very testing time for the market with all these negatives. First off with you, Keith, what do you say?
Absolutely. The market can remain illogical longer than you can remain solvent, as the old saying goes. But this is what optimism actually looks like.
Yeah, that was very short, Keith. You kind of caught me there. I was expecting at least a paragraph from you and not a couple of sentences. Can you keep going, or do you want me to move on?
No, I can keep going. Here's the thing, Stuart. There's a lot of negatives, but there are always negatives. And you can say we live in the best of times or the worst of times. If you're an investor and you're concentrating on quality companies with solid business plans and experienced management, that's the stuff you want to be thinking about. The short-term movements up and down, that's more Scott's arena. That's a trader's environment. But as an investor, this is a good sign because it means the markets are not running for the hills.
Okay, you set him up nicely. So let's bring in Scott Shellady. What do you think? At the end of this week, are we going to be up, down, or sideways?
Well, we'll probably be slightly higher. And here's the deal, Stuart. I mean, I think Charles brought this up a while back. You know, for 8 years, we've been looking at the dirty side of the coin. I mean, we've been always kind of negative and expecting bad things to come. But we've seen a total sentiment change. And a lot of times, there doesn't have to be a real reason behind it or a real market mover behind it, but just a change in sentiment, like what Patton or MacArthur would do, just to get the troops rallied enough that you start to make good things happen. You know, does practice make you lucky, or does practice make you just happen to have more luck? I mean, these are the types of things I think that are absolutely changing in society, and I think that, yes, we will start to have to see some of that proof in the pudding, but I think that we are now starting to look at the good side or the clean side of the coin rather than the bad side of the coin, and that is going to make all the difference. It really will. We'll start to do things, you know, if you start to feel, see, and believe, things will start happening.
That's fascinating, Scott, and I think you're right. I think investors are ignoring the political turmoil and the negatives which we hear so much about in the media. And look at this. I've got a new Gallup poll, and it says 54% of us are optimistic that President Trump will make the U.S. more prosperous. Mr. Trump's approval rating is down. It's below 50%. They might not like him, but they think he will be good for everybody's money. That seems to be the state of play, Liz.
Yeah, it seems to be the state of play. I mean, his approval rating is still lower than President Obama or George W. Bush when they came into office. Right. But, you know, we've seen that across the board. They have faith in his policies that'll get the country moving again. We've seen that in other polls as well.
And despite all the negatives, I keep on about this, but look at this. Yeah. We're up. The Dow Jones average has opened with a 14-point gain in the first 3 and 4 minutes of business. That's a surprise given the news background, which is very negative.